Hey guys, Outdoor Enthusiast 88 here again, bringing you my Type 56 Chinese SKS. I believe it's a Sino-Soviet model from the year 1956 actually. I'm gonna have the star proof mark right there, or at least partial star. This thing has definitely seen its better days. A lot of chips, a lot of scrapes. Metal's in good condition. It does have all matching serial numbers as well as the 26 factory stamp in the pyramid there. Like I said, metal's in great condition. Chrome line barrel's beautiful. Great shooter, no problems whatsoever with it so far. And what I want to do is just go ahead and refinish the stock. Probably leave the metal alone, but I'm going to do a short video with pictures to kind of help speed the process along, make it a short video on what you can do with one of these beat up SKSs. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to sand down everything with different layers, starting with like 80 grit sandpaper, 120, 200, or whatever we got to do to fine it out. And there's also real fine steel wool you can use. And then we're going to stain it, probably a couple of coats, something similar color like a red oak, and then go ahead and put some kind of polyurethane or tru-oil for a finish on there. And then we'll be back with you guys in a little bit, and you can definitely see what it looks like at the end. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, so this project will take about a good week to finish between dry time and sanding and all that good stuff. So you want to first get all of your stuff together. You're going to need a hairdryer or heat gun. You'll need paper towels, gloves, paint brushes, sponges, tru-oil, stain, tape, screwdriver to take apart this rifle, various sizes of sandpaper and steel wool. You'll need a lot of sandpaper. We can try to get as much stain as possible off first, but sanding is kind of the true way to get it off safely without hurting your rifle. Take everything apart, especially all the metal pieces. You're going to find a lot of the gunk underneath there from the cosmoline, from it touching the stock, even though I've already cleaned this whole rifle down from before even trying to shoot it after I first got it, because it was caked in cosmoline. Then go ahead and put aside the pieces that you're not going to worry about too much, slings and all that good stuff. And you'll see even like under the buttstock metal plate, you'll see it's really gunked up, a lot of rusts and kind of cosmoline caked wood pieces. So go ahead and soak all the metal pieces in a Greenworks or a mineral spirit with boiling hot water. Let them soak for a little while. Just kind of set them aside, get them all cleaned up. Don't let them last too long and start rusting. But you'll see just kind of some pictures here of what the rifle stock looks like before starting the project. I had shot it before I started this project, and it shoots great. So, but I haven't like dropped it or anything to add to it. But you can see it's really dinged up and scraped and pitted, and we're going to try to sand all that down and restain it here, make it look relatively nice and even better to touch, really. So go ahead and first thing is boil some water. Go ahead and get some steam going to kind of soak into the wood a little bit, pull out some of that cosmoline and oil and stain, grease and all that. You can see it starts kind of rubbing off just with a paper towel. Always go with the grain. Don't try to scrub too hard, trying to mess up the rifle or anything like that. Then you want to go and take some Greenworks, apply that to the whole rifle. Just let it soak for a little bit. That really helps with drawing out some of the oil. Then go ahead and get your cheesecloth. And cheesecloth I find actually works really well and kind of like a sponge almost. So cake it with Greenworks as well as some hot water. Sprinkle it over there and let them sit for a little bit. It really draws out a lot of the grease. Other people use Crud Cutter. I just figured Greenworks won't harm the wood because it is basically no chemicals in there. It's all green stuff. So I think it's lemon is the active ingredient. So go ahead and scrub, do several coats of that with the cheesecloth. You can rinse out the cheesecloth if you need to, kind of get as much as you can off, because the next step is sanding. You're going to want to start with, once you let the wood dry, want to start with really low grit sandpaper, scrub it really hard, then kind of move into fine grit, and that'll help, you can see, kind of take all the stain off. Once you're happy with your sanding, once you go with the grain, and also be careful not to sand away any serial numbers or anything on the wood like the star stamp that you don't want to sand away, go ahead and get a heat gun or hair dryer, and then go ahead and use like a paper towel and just kind of scrub away whatever oil and cosmoline is left in the wood. And you can see even like there's a lot of cracks and crevices throughout the wood that really has a lot of gunk in it that you can't really hit with the steam that'll melt away as much. So you really got to get into those crevices. And I want to be thorough with the project, so make sure you clean as much as you can. And once you're happy with getting as much of that cleaned up as you can and as dry as you can for the wood, go ahead and put your first stain on there. So do light coats. Don't do too heavy a stain. You're not trying to rush it because you'll start getting a lot of pool of stain, and you don't want to start having to sand a lot and do more coats. So you'll just need several coats to get this thing done, maybe even 2. Because then once that is all dry after a few days, let it thoroughly dry, go get your tru-oil or your polyurethane finish and go ahead and get at least the first coat on there. And you can see even after 1 coat, it's really starting to shine. And that's going to help protect the wood from any kind of weathering, as well as make it a lot nicer to hold in your hand than just the regular stain stock. Let it hang, let it dry, especially in between coats for the tru-oil, just like the stain. It will take a long time to dry because the way it's set up, it's an oil base, so it does take a little while. And it was raining pretty much the whole week I was doing this, so it took probably longer than usual. But if you had some sunlight or it was in the middle of the summer, you can put it outside, it'll dry twice as fast, I bet. So go ahead, do 1 or 2 coats. It only took me about 3 coats of stain, 2 coats of tru-oil. You know, you have to give it a day to dry in between coats, so there's 5 days right there. And then go ahead and, you know, take a look, see where you want, how shiny you want it. I mean, you can apply more than 2 coats if you like. This is after 2 coats. So if you want to do, you know, a thicker finish, you can. If not, I think this really turned out really well. A lot of the pitting and scratch marks are all gone. It looks almost brand new. The metal looks really nice with it, and you can tell it looks like a very nice rifle. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. So, well, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my page and like the video and comment below. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.